Hello and welcome to this year's BBC School Report, live from Eltham Hill School. I'm Ava.
I'm Raya.
I'm Amy.
Today we will be talking about the use of iPads in school, the increase in prices of homes and more.
Firstly, we'll be talking about iPads for learning in our school. In Eltham Hill School, Year 9 have been given the opportunity to use iPads for learning.
Parents had the choice to buy an iPad for their daughter for £15 a month for 2 years.
iPads offer a wide range of resources for students to use at school and at home, like Maths Watch and Collins Connect. Here are what some students and our head teacher thought.
How do you feel about the school introducing the iPads to the Year 9s?
It's helped me a lot because it allows me to have my revision and have my work at home on my iPad, so I can recap it at home.
Do you think they benefit your education?
Yes, because you have all of your information just on your iPad and it's not like you're looking for it because it's all just on your iPad.
Do you think it would be a good idea to introduce the iPads to the other year groups?
Yeah, it will benefit them.
How do you feel about the school introducing iPads to Year 9s at Eltham Hill School?
I think that the iPads can be a really positive aid to learning, and I think that it was a really innovative thing to try with a whole year group, and I think that there's been some real positive impact from that in terms of teachers using technology much more widely in their lessons. So I think it's an exciting experiment, if you like.
How do you feel about Year 9s getting iPads?
I think that it's a really good way for them to learn because it's quite interactive in classes, because it can get boring of them writing, but I think it would help if they had a little bit more freedom, because I heard that things are starting to get blocked.
Yeah, and I thought it was a bit unfair at first, but then when I heard that it's for them to test it out, I think it would be really good for other people and their education as well, and everything else. Like when they're doing homework, it's better for them to search it up and stuff.
Now for our next story, the misuse of Google Translate in schools. 52% of students we asked use it, but language teachers find it frustrating because the translation is wrong and students get low marks because of it.
To show how it works, we put the sentence, "Does Google Translate work?" and after translating into multiple different languages, we put it back into English and the results came out as this sentence. Here are some student and teacher views on the topic.
What do you think about students using Google Translate for homework?
I don't think it's a good idea because Google doesn't know everything about the subtlety of language. For example, to say to make, to do, you got two words in English, while Google in French, you wouldn't know which one to use, okay? So that's why I don't recommend students to use Google.
Is Google Translate useful when learning a language?
Again, if it's just one simple word, maybe, but I wouldn't recommend to use it now.
If Google Translate was improved, would you encourage students to use it?
Yeah, I would need to see the improvement, but yes.
What could you use other than Google Translate?
Well, the best way is to use some website called Word Reference. It's like a dictionary, and it will give you all the possibility to translate one word, and it will put the word in a context. So I would definitely recommend that one.
Do you use Google Translate for your language homework?
No.
Sometimes. Why do you find it helpful?
I find it helpful because sometimes my teacher wouldn't translate something for me and I would just use it to help me.
Why don't you use it?
I don't use it because in my Spanish class we've learnt that it uses a mix between Spanishes from different countries like Mexico and Colombia and different accents.
Do you find it helpful?
Slightly, but there are some mistakes in the translations.
Why don't you use it?
Because every time I try to use it, I end up it's not a correct sentence, it's a jumbled up sentence and it's not just.
London house prices have risen by 2.5% since 2016, the lowest rise in house prices over this period. Yet, it is getting harder and harder for young people to get on the housing ladder. The most expensive places to live in London are Chelsea, Kensington, Notting Hill and West Brompton. We asked some people in the community what they thought of this. Do you live in London?
Yes, I do live in London.
What kind of property do you live in?
At the moment, I'm living in a one-bedroom flat with my husband.
Do you think London's house prices have increased over the last 30 years?
Massively, yeah. So, my parents could afford to buy a house, early on, which, I can't really do in the same way that they could. It's taken a lot longer for me to get to the point where I could buy my own home.
What do you think the government should do to make housing more affordable?
I think they need to look at the way in which people are buying houses and maybe limit people from buying a range of houses.
Where do you think the most expensive place to live in London is?
Definitely Chelsea or South Kensington. I mean, it's really expensive around there.
What do you think the government should do to make housing more affordable?
Well, they could definitely start with building more affordable housing, because I've noticed recently that there's been a lot of very expensive apartments and flats being built that many may not necessarily afford. Although our city is quite populated and there is a demand for housing, not many people can necessarily afford the expensive housing that is being built right now.
Why do you think young people are finding it hard to get on the housing ladder?
Well, there's a lot of reasons why young people wouldn't be able to afford housing. Well, it's obviously very expensive to find yourself a home. However, many young people do experience university debt and education fees, and their priority is not necessarily finding a house but more paying for their education. And when they do come to find a house, they find themselves in a situation where they don't have as much money as they would need.
Now we have the recent sports news. This year the Winter Olympics was held in South Korea.
The final outcome of the 2018 competition was Norway in first place with 39 medals. Great Britain came 17th by the end with 5 medals.
The Winter Paralympics is currently being held. It started on the 9th and it will finish in 3 days.
We first interviewed a PE teacher to find out what she thinks about this year.
Did you see the Winter Olympics?
I did watch lots of the Winter Olympics.
Do you know where it happened?
I did. It happened in South Korea.
What is your favourite sport?
My favourite sport is netball. I've got to say netball, but I also have a real passion for long distance running. And if we're talking about the Winter Olympics specifically, I really enjoy watching the bobsled. It's a really cool event, really different, really interesting. And also I have some time for curling as well. I think it takes a lot of patience, a lot of hard work, and it's really different skills to those that I teach on a day-to-day basis here in school.
Did you see the Winter Olympics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know where it happened?
South Korea.
What is your favourite sport?
I like the ice skating. Yeah, I like
definitely ice
the
skating. Because it looks really pretty.
Ice skating.
Do you think more women should be competing in the Olympics?
Yeah, because more women need to be put out there and show what they can really do for themselves, because in this era, most people don't really see women as we should be. If that makes sense.
I think definitely yes, because I think especially a lot of sports, especially male dominated. So I think that when it comes to the Olympics, I think that more women should be stepping up and competing. I then think it will get more publicity and things, because more women will want to watch it if there are women in it. So yeah.